I am Dr. Renee Sunday, and you are listening to Good Deeds Radio. We just love it, love it, love it. First of all, we want to just say thank you. Thank you so much for supporting us and all the things that we do, from the radio, the TV, the magazine, the publishing company, the nonprofit, all the things that we do. We just thank you, thank you, thank you. You download on iTunes, our podcast, you look at our YouTube video, social media, and you come to our website. We just thank you for your support, and we love you, love you, love you. We just thank you that you're part of Good Deeds family. We love it. But you know, I am Dr. Renee Sunday, and I'm known as the platform builder. And so what I do is I help people identify their purpose if they're not aware. And I help them be seen, be heard, and guess what? Get paid. That's it. So we can actually help other people walk out their destiny, walk out their purpose, and obtain their goals and dreams in life. That's what we're supposed to be doing, is help somebody else. You know, it's not about us. If that's a rude awakening to you, I'm here to let you know. You know, we're going to actually proceed to our question for this session. Dr. Renee, my team is looking for our guest. So start one for Dr. Renee. The question is, Dr. Renee, we see so many things that you're doing. We just want to know your advice, your insight in regards of starting a business. From my understanding, they have an asterisk here. This person wants to start a marketing company. Another person sent in a similar question that they wanted to get in entertainment, just in general entertainment, artist management, for example. And another person sent the same question in about starting their own publishing company. You know, the reason my team gave me all of these scenarios, because it's three things you have to do before you can establish, start, create, whatever word you want to use, a business. And it be successful, and you actually have influence, impact, and guess what? Income. The first thing is, do you really believe? Do you really believe in what you're about to do? You have to believe it. If nobody else believes it, you actually have to believe it. You actually need to know more about your business than your team. Okay? You have to. The next thing is you have to, and this is, of course, a small scenario of the whole conversation I had with the people. And actually, guess what? They became clients because they saw some things that they actually didn't have a great foundation. The other thing is, do you trust? You have to trust the process. You have to make sure that you realize that it takes a while sometimes. Here in Georgia, I have to give you the statistics. I'm fortunate. I'm going to say it that way. There are so many nonprofits, for one. Number two, LLCs that, guess what, are not making money. And the next thing, they're non-active. They're not active. So we actually need to make sure, when we have to trust the process, we cannot give up. What I always say, don't stop, get it. You can't give up. And the last thing, you need to make sure you walk it out. And walk it out means you need to do your due diligence. You actually need to do networking. Chew in the back to realize it's all about your clients. It's all about your clients. We actually call them family. We don't even call them clients. You have to get your terminology of what you want to call the people that actually work with you. But that's just the basic, because let me tell you, all the technology, like we're doing here on the radio show, the technology we do for the TV, the technology we do for the publishing company, guess what? Majority of it is automatic. I know some companies is not going to actually admit that. The online courses I do, the coaching that I do that you schedule, the schedule to be here on the radio and TV show, to have an appointment with me for coaching. Guess what? It's an automated system that we send you to schedule. Of course, I do come on the line when we make the appointment, but a lot of bells and whistles you have to have. But that's easy to do. Several platforms to actually to compare, before you actually make a choice. But you have to have those three things if you're going to be successful. And I'm telling you, it will work out. You have to, guess what? You got to get it. But anyway, excuse me. We're going to actually proceed to our guest. My team said there we were in queue. But we actually have a young lady, Miss Norma Stanley. She's a speaker, author, singer, president, CEO of E.E.E. Marketing Group. Just to see, my team be setting me up. But you know what? All the questions that you send in, I always go in sync with the people that's actually going to be a guest on the show. And I have to be honest with you, they don't put them together. When the questions come in, they actually, well, of course we have to proof them to make sure, it's in the spirit of excellence. But it's so amazing that it always works out that what we need to talk about is what our guest is going to focus on more in detail, of course. But we want to welcome none other than the amazing, the fabulous Norma Stanley. Are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you?
I'm great.
Can you hear me?
Welcome to Good Deeds.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Now, I totally did not introduce you totally. So please tell us a little bit more about yourself and the amazing things that's going on in your life.
Well, I would love to. Again, my name is Norma Stanley, and I'm actually in really the prime of my life. I'm doing some amazing things at this particular chapter. I'm the president and CEO of E.E.E. Marketing Group, which stands for Enlightened, Empowered, and Enriched. And what I basically do is focus on the educating communities on the disability community, on the disability population, and the economic significance and power that population holds. Multicultural communications is my background, and have been doing it for many years now. Public relations I've been doing for about 30 years now, and I've just basically incorporated my skills and personal and professional experience to help the disability population generate awareness about their trials as well as their triumphs, because I am the mother of an adult daughter who was born with disabilities. And I realized there was a gap in services, and there was a gap in marketing opportunities and just in awareness about this community. And so started to focus on that and educate corporations on the viability of marketing to this consumer segment. And separate from that grew my I have a radio show also, but I also sing. And now that my daughter's an adult, I decided to go after some of my own dreams, which were to write books and to sing and to do some things that can positively impact our community. And so that's where I am now.
Wow, I love it. Well, let's dive deep a little bit. The thing that I love that you said you have the amazing experience and so many things. And tell us this, because I get this question a lot also, Norma, that, you do so many things. Is there actually a word called balance? Let's tackle that, because a lot of people, we have trouble with time management. We have trouble of identifying, is this really what God want us to do, or we actually in a process of getting to that one thing? Kind of help us with that, because a lot of times, a lot of things coming out in our eyesight, the bells and whistles, if you know what I mean. So help us with that, because of course everybody wants to be in their purpose.
Right. Well, I've got to say that I didn't realize what my purpose was until I had my daughter. And, I've always been a writer. My background, my journalism, I have a journalism degree, and I've always wanted to be a reporter and worked in the journalism field. And that turned into public relations and basically being a reporter for corporations and helping them to tell their stories. But, trying to balance all of it, I didn't really have an issue, to tell you the truth, until I had my daughter. I had to kind of prioritize what was more important to me at that time. Before I had my child was my career. I was married. I was a young, married at 25 and, focused on my career early in my life. And then I had my daughter, and I had to make a decision, doing all the traveling and things I was doing as a public relations professional, or helping my daughter to maximize her potential as someone who was born with cerebral palsy and, needed me around. So I chose at that point to to my daughter and came out on my own so I can kind of work my own schedule. And it's not an easy proposition, but I thank God for the opportunity to be able to do it so that I can, help her to become all that she can be. She is now almost 30, and, I just use all the skills that God gave me in terms of the writing and, the professional skills that I have through the experiences working with companies like Coca-Cola and General Motors and, the Gillette Company and various companies I've worked with. From my PR background, I was able to pull those experiences when I came out on my own to connect with some of my own clients and build on that. And I had to balance it out. I couldn't go full-fledged the way I would if I was working with someone else, but I balanced it so that I can be home for my family as well as, maximize my own potential. I'm in a phase now where I can push a little harder because my daughter is now grown than I did when she was coming up. So that was a choice that I made.
Well, I'm glad you said that because and I'm not a mother, but I'm a godmother to so many. But we as mothers, natural mothers and spiritual moms and et cetera, but we as ladies in general, that's what I'm getting at. We have to make a lot of decisions, and I'm so glad that, it always works out, but we commend you that you were able to, to phase in and phase out. And when your kids get older, you take that big breath and then you just launch out on that path. So we thank you for doing that. And yeah, let's get into your marketing company because people always want to be seen, be heard, and of course that leads to exposure, visibility. Tell us a little bit more about your marketing group because everybody wants to kind of get their story out. They want to get their products and services out. So help us with in regards of your company of how what you offer, what you're looking for when we contact you, and those sort of things.
Well, okay. Well, I work with all type of clients. I have small clients, small businesses. I have medium-sized and some larger companies. But I actually like working with small companies that are starting up and getting going to try to help to guide them in the way they should go from a public relations standpoint, helping them to tell their story. That's really my area of expertise, is helping them to tell their story and keeping them, helping them to understand the messaging that they should be presenting to the public. And that is a specific area. Marketing covers a lot of different areas. There's the advertising, there's the branding, there's the social media, there's the public relations, there's all these different aspects of it. Mine is helping them with their image and their messaging and through working with media. And so that's what I do. And one of my clients actually is a small business that is a fashion design house, and, she specializes actually in working with models who are people with disabilities. That's not too many people in the fashion industry have been doing that, including them in their fashion shows and things like that. And so that, of course, was near and dear to my heart. And so I started working with her, and just by, knowing how media works and the kinds of stories, the way to present stories to them so that they'd be interested, what I wrote up about her was able to, got the attention of a local station here in Atlanta, CBS, and that particular TV station, they put together a small segment that got picked up by Inside Edition, which led to like 30 or 40 different markets, television markets, picking up that one little story that started here in Atlanta. So, depending on what it is that you're sharing and how you share it with the producers or with the editors, that's a learned skill that I developed over the years. But that is something that, is very valuable for helping people to tell their stories locally, nationally, and sometimes internationally. So that's what I do. My challenge now is to help having somebody to help me tell my story because, now that I have a CD coming out and things like that, and I'm an author, and, and I don't want to do my own thing. I can, but I don't want to. So now I'm working on trying to get somebody to help me tell my story because you don't want to tell your own story, even though I know how to do it.
Right. I'm glad you said that. Oh, wow. People say that all the time. First of all, I want to, I love how you said telling your story. And I found that out, and I'm glad. Hey, me and you can actually agree on this because I learned real early in the game that I can't tell my story either, and like someone else. Because a lot of people, and I have to be honest, a lot of people see the greatness in you more than you see in yourself, number one. But that's sort of like I always tell people when they want to publish a book, please, 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 I wish I could say 1,000,000 times, please, do not edit your own book.
Amen. It's so true.
So I'm so happy that you said that.
It's so true. I mean, that's so important because what you see and what an outside person can see are two different things, and you need somebody who's steps back away from the project who can see it with clear eyes and impartial eyes and can possibly provide you an insight that you're too close to. So it's very important not to edit your own book, and that's something I absolutely agree with, and not to again publicize your own work. I mean, like I said, I know how to do it. But now that I am an author and a singer and I have my own creative projects, I'd rather have somebody from the outside look at those projects and market me rather than me trying to do it myself because I'm too close to the project.
Yes. Now, let me ask one more question in regards to that because someone just sent the question. And then because I want to get to that book and the singing especially. But number one, are you taking clients, and what items or documents or files would you prefer them to have, or do you like going from the ground roots so we'll know exactly how how to. Because sometimes when people do a speaker sheet, for example, all the good, juicy stuff is not in there. So I've sent the question in first, are you taking clients, and is there any documents or anything social media-wise, et cetera, that you would prefer us to have in place?
Well, I mean, my thing is I stay in my lane. I know what I'm good at. I'm a good writer. I am, I can take 2 sentences and make you sound very, very wonderful. It's just a gift that God has given me. I know what I'm good at, so I stay in my lane. Social media is not exactly my bailiwick, so I bring people on board who assist me with that, with regards to social media. But I know what to do, but it's not where I excel. I tend to stay where I excel. So, but bring in my collaborators, my experts, who can help fill in the gaps where I'm not. That's not my my A game. But writing bios, and there's a lot of people who don't understand the value of putting together a strong bio, a strong your content on your website. What your website actually says is very important. It's not just enough to look pretty, and so those kinds of things I think sometimes companies miss out on in terms of the content of their blogs or the content of their, the verbiage, the words are very important. You want to sound like you know what you're talking about. You want to be, impressive in what people are reading about you. And a lot of people, I think, sometimes miss that in some of the things that they put on their websites and things like that in terms of, whatever is being written about them. I've been blessed that, one of the things that I've been able to do, I help people to write their bios. I help write news releases. I help write all the things that need to be written. I can write it. I'm also, I try to be, I customize my prices per client. I have a certain, for larger clients, but, I want to make sure that people can afford me. And so, I try to be reasonable so that anybody, if you need, service A, B, C, or D, I try to customize it for the clients so that they can get what they need and I can get what I need, but at the same time it doesn't, because I know starting a small business, PR can be very expensive. I know that for a fact because I'm in the industry. So, I try not to be one of those companies that only works with the big companies or only works if you only have a certain amount of money. I try not to do that. But I do, I try to do what I can to assist. But, yes, public relations and, understanding your messaging is very important for a small business. And not only that, but understanding, your strengths and your weaknesses from your competitive perspective and how you can override that. So there's certainly the strategic aspect of it. And I tell you the truth, over the years, I had to learn. I had to get a business coach. I know PR. Mm-hmm. I know PR. The growing of the business, I had to get help with that. So, I learned how to stay in my lane and get the people who can help me take me to another level.
I'm going to have to say hallelujah and amen after that. I'm serious. That's one of my big things, Norma, is I stay in my lane. Now, if y'all want me to sing, we're going to do background. Don't put me in front of the mic like this wonderful lady. And let's just transition over to that. Tell us more about your singing. I can tell you have a beautiful voice. And also, let's talk about that first because, being here local in Atlanta, we truly, truly want to support you in the things that you're doing.
Well, I do appreciate it. My first book was called The Elected Lady, Finding Victory in the Challenge, and that was basically my life story, being the mother of a child with special needs. And I interviewed 4 other mothers, and, it's an inspirational book. It has, poetry, it has stories, it has testimonies about the challenges that we face, but also, the triumphs. And my book that's about to come out is called Just Do It, Tips to Avoiding the Dream-Stealing Trap of Procrastination. That had been a demon in my life for many years, and God has finally blessed me to get past it. And I actually wrote a song the song is already out. It's called Just Do It. And that's the song. The single is out. You can see it on YouTube, or you can download it on iTunes. And I'm working on the video now. And I wrote all the songs on my CD. The last song is being recorded as we speak, or will be recorded this month, and the CD should be out this summer, the full CD. So I write songs also, and I've been blessed that somebody gives me some music. I can just, the words just come. And so that's something that God has blessed me. But I've always wanted to sing. I've always loved to write, and I've always loved to sing. And when I got into, my teens, I decided to go for the writing side of it. But then as time passed, and it was like, you know what, you love singing, go ahead and give it a shot. And I decided to go ahead and do it. And I'm having the best time. And I sing in my church choir, and I sing at events and conferences. I'm actually going to be part of a conference coming up that I believe the young lady is going to be on your show coming up next week. This is Vanessa Abrams. She has an event called the self-positioning. Yeah, the self-positioning, the pain, positioning, and tour. She's dealing with mental illness. On that tour, I'm actually going to be one of the speakers in the tour, and I'm going to be singing as part of her conference. It's going to be going to 8 different cities, and she can tell you more about it when she gets on this show. But, I sing everything, and I've been blessed that, I get a chance to do what I love, and I can work around my daughter. My daughter, again, she loves music, and so that is kind of therapeutic for her, and I've been singing to her since she was born. Music is very therapeutic for people with special needs, and so, I just decided why not go ahead and just do this thing and just enjoy it. Life is about finding joy. And finding joy, if you could find joy in what you do and walk in your purpose, there's nothing better. And make a little money as you do it. That helps too.
Oh, yeah, I totally understand. I just love it. I just love your spirit. Yes. Oh, my God, it's just amazing. What you say the name of it? Is it Just Do It? Or what's
it's
the
called
name?
Just Do It. My stage name is called Nella Joy.
Just Do It.
Nella Joy is really my 2 middle names that I fused together. So my stage name is Nella Joy. So you can hear the song on YouTube. but it's under the name of Nella Joy, NELLA-JOI. And so, I like I said, I get a chance to sing at events and, parties. And, I'm hoping to eventually put together my band and do some things in some other areas. But, again, I'm no spring chicken, but I look good for my age. And I'm enjoying this chapter, I got to say.
Wow. I just love it because let me tell you,
Uh-huh.
There's so much going on with the millennials, and and I'm not in the millennial, but I love hanging out with them. But I really love it when I see people that's older, and I'm gonna keep it like that, older than the millennials, that we still have strive, we still have joy, because Norma, I said, but I'm being truthful. I think I'm 20 again. I just feel I'm really. I'm flying. I think Yolanda Adams said, I believe I can fly. That's the way I feel now because, and I'll be honest, I don't have the procrastination. I truly enjoy reading your book, and I don't have the fear that stopped me when I was at the millennial age.
Exactly. And that's what stopped me, too. God told me to write my first book when I was 24 years old. That was before the African-American romances were out. I used to consume them as a young girl, and I could have written one, and I started a bunch, never finished any of them. I could be a millionaire today, but I procrastinated, and I didn't do it then. Now they're everywhere, so I lost that opportunity. And so I learned a lot in my 20s and 30s and 40s not to do that anymore. And so as God gives me the ideas and the things that He wants, because that's how, he helps us to take us to posterity. He gives us ideas. We have to move on them. And so the disability community is one of the areas that He's told me to move in various areas, and that's what I'm doing, and as well as my creative side, which is my books and my music. So, we have to move when He tells us to move.
Sure. Amen. Woo, amen. Hey, Norma, do me a favor, because you just sparked something in my spirit. I just like we confess, if you will, and have telling all we're international, that for the nation, don't give away your book, because of course we're gonna purchase your book. But
okay.
In your own life, from what you've told us, procrastination, fear, unbelief, all those kind of things. But and you touched on it briefly. Encourage someone right now, because I know somebody's listening. Because unfortunately, when the devil get a glimpse of how you're gonna change the world, some self-sabotage things. I think Bishop Jakes called them scarecrows come about. Can you say in your own words of how encourage us to move past that? And then when you finish that, please tell us how we can actually support you and purchase your book and the single when you get those out. And then, of course, if you're local here or wherever people are and they want to book you and actually be part of your, be a client of the amazing thing you're doing in the PR world.
Well, absolutely. They can always just go to my website, normastanley.com, and get some information about me and how to get in touch with me. I'm actually, by the grace of God, I've been nominated for an award for my single on an awards program called PraiseFactor.com. So they can go to PraiseFactor.com and vote for me under Nella Joy for the music. And I think I got nominated in the rhythm and praise section and alternative Christian section, although my song is not really gospel, it's inspirational. But they nominated me. And I've also been nominated in the motivational speaker section and a couple other things. That was nothing but the grace of God. But I just want to encourage people to never, ever give up on their dreams. I put my life on the back burner for my daughter, and I was glad to do it because I wanted to make sure she had the best life possible, and I still do. But, now that she's almost, 30 years old, it's like, okay, now I can see what it is that God wanted me to do and move in that direction. And, I'm so excited because even though I'm older, And I have no problem telling people how old I am. I had my daughter when I was 30. And so I am excited about where God is taking me because I'm feeling more energized and I'm more confident in who I am and the gifts and skills that he's given me than I ever have been. And I'm excited about what the future looks like. And, I'm having so much fun. And I want to inspire other mothers like myself who have children like my daughter who can't do what typical children do, to not give up on their own dreams. And, to go after go after their own dreams and to be the best that God wanted them to be. And that's what that first book, The Elected Lady, Finding Victory in the Challenge, is about. That's what Just Do It, the song and the book, is about. And, the speaking things that I do, I have something called Tapping into Your Unstoppable. That's one of the things I talk about because, we tend to stop ourselves. But if we tap into that faith and that belief in who we are and the gifts that God gave us, we're really unstoppable. There's nothing wrong with honing those gifts and becoming the best you can be and learning and educating yourself and surrounding yourself with people like yourself, like Dr. Sunday, who have the skills and the expertise to help take you to another level. You have to put your tribe together, and that's what I've learned how to do. For many years I did it by myself or tried to do it by myself, and that also hampered my growth. And I've learned to start putting together people who are at another level already and learn from them and grow with them.
Yeah, amen. I totally agree with you with that. But Norma Stanley, first of all, we want to thank you so much for being in your purpose. I'm so excited to say that. But also, we thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be a guest here on Good Deeds. And if you need us for anything, please don't hesitate to contact us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, like
You're
I said,
welcome.
they can check me out on, go to my website, www.normastanley.com. You can actually hear my song on that site too. And I look forward to anybody just calling me or, sending me a message to my email, which is on the website. And I'll be glad to talk to them about whatever they may need from a PR standpoint or put them in, the right direction if they had any questions they need answered in that area. Be glad to help.
Well, thank you. We will have your information all over our social media and website and all that as well so we can continue to support you in your purpose.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, I know you powered up, and a lot of our listeners are here in local in Atlanta, but you don't have to be local. She's international. She can help you with everything, okay? Ooh, I'm just so excited. The replay will be up very soon if you missed any of these, and go back and download it. Share it with your friends and your family because it's time for you to what? Be seen, be heard, and get paid. And PR is very important for that, okay? Here at Good Deeds, we are here to help you. So if any of our guests that you can't get their information, contact us. We'll actually give you that information because the key is we want you to walk in your purpose, and that's what it's all about. We do have, if you want to be a guest on the show or if you want your own radio show, we actually coach you for that. And also if you want to be on a TV show, we can help you with that as well. And we have a publishing company, it's been past time, right, for you to get that book out. So it's time for you to do that. We also have a nonprofit organization called Sunday Foundation where we actually help the homeless, the things that we take for granted. Y'all know we do food, clothing, and shelter. We help people with that and our brothers and sisters, okay? Just be our brothers and sisters. Because you know what? We can blink and we can be there. And that's real talk. Also, we have a mentorship and also a sponsorship and scholarship program that's attached with that as well. We also, if you're affiliated with a hospital, get in contact with us. We have the SUN program, SUN project, where we help families when they have loved ones in the intensive care unit. But we always need you to remember, you do have a calling. You do have a reason you were born. You know I'm going to scream it, so get ready. You're not a mistake. You know I have to say that because so many people have heard that, or you're thinking that, or have somebody has said it, or whatever. But you're not a mistake. You have to do the three things. You have to believe, you got to trust, and you got to walk that thing out. Amen. You got to. We all, I'm not exempt. We all have to do that. And you know the next thing, we got to don't stop. We got to get it. And we have to get our purpose and get our purpose now. You know, this is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. My team told me to stop. Guess what? I didn't tell you my website. Y'all know our website, though. It's reneesunday.com. If you want to know personal stuff about me as being a medical expert, as being an anesthesiologist, a physician, that is www.dr, Renee, R-E-N-E-E, MD.com. Again, it's reneesunday.com and Dr. D-R-R-E-N-E-E, MD.com. My team loves me. They want me to do it right because you know I was first later, right? I love you guys. You know, this is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. See you next time. Bye-bye.